Okay, let's explore some sixes. So the first thing I'd like to explore is multiplication 6 times 5. And if I want to do 6 times 5, I want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you'll notice that these are all base 10 grids, so we know we're going 10 across, so I like to go halfway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I have my array, and then I can take a look at my array, and I'm going to use green here. So I can count by fives. I can go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Or if you know how to skip count by 6, there's a song I know, the 6 song. It goes 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, and that's where I am for 30. So my product for this one is an array of 30. So if I want to think in terms of sixes, I can continue to extend this out as we learned in the previous lesson, where I could do a 6 times 20, and I could keep going by counting in sixes, or I can keep going and counting by tens if I wanted to. So I'm going to take a look and explore. I'm going to take a look and just explore a much larger array, and I think I'm going to explore a multiple of 6. But this time I think I'm going to try something very large. Let's try a 6 times 30 or 50. So once I try 6 times 50, I know what you might be thinking. You might be thinking, wow, that's a very large number to count by sixes. But if you use the base 10 blocks that I've provided here, here is a group of 10. Here's another group of 10. And here's another group of 10. So now I've taken my array and I've made this much, much larger. So I could simply just count by tens, and I have 10. So right here's 10, 20, and 30, and I can continue to go. I'm going to use a little bit down here because this is only represented of a 6 times 10. This is also representative of a 6 times 10. This one here, once again, is a 6 times 10. So now I've done that 3 times. Okay, so I have, in this particular one, I have a 60, 60, and 60. 2 60s together is 120, and then another 60 plus that is equal to 180. But I've got to keep going in order to get to my 50. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, count my 10, count another 10, and now I have my groups of 50, which if you look down here, sorry about that, let's erase that little bit there. We'll try that. Now I'm going to have my 50 right here, and now I have my 6 times 10, and another 6 times 10. And if you look at it that way, I have 2 more 60s, which is 120. And I'm going to add those 2 together, and that's going to give me a total of 300. There are multiple ways to think of that. You could think of it in terms of just multiplying a 6 times 5, which is a 30, and then I love that zeros trick to bring it down to make it 300. That's pretty simple too, but really what you're doing when you're multiplying 6 times 50 is you're thinking of each individual tiny little 6 by 10 and just repeating that process over and over again until you get your 6 times 10. So for the rest of the lesson today, you will see some other ones starting with a 6 times 8 and then going to an 80 and so forth. And you'll see that on the next slide so that you can try some on your own. Good luck!